Everybody. Everybody wants everybody yeeted.
As the person you
Oh,
were
I
just
don't want to.
talking about.
Hold on, we're live, guys. Hello, all my
Hey,
minions. Welcome to the lair. Yes, I sound like crap. And just like I said to the lady in Target that went, "Wow, you're really pale and don't look good." Thank you. I don't own a mirror. I was unaware. Standing there coughing. That cough doesn't sound great. I'm aware. I have ears. Just saying. Um, yeah, it has been a few days. It has been a few days, and I am crabby. How is everybody? How are all my loves? For all of you that checked in on me, thank you, thank you. Iris, I'm gonna start throwing sandals at people. The chancla is gonna come out. Like I briefly contemplated throwing one at Target while I picked up my cold medicine. I was
Uh-oh.
like, if I take off a chancla and throw it in a Target, will I get it back? Iris knows the struggle. Iris knows the struggle. So, where to begin? Yeah, nope. Iris, yeah, I do. I am pale. My hemoglobin gets really low. The problem is, and like I have great friends and an amazing community. The problem is, it's not that um there's nothing I can really do. And like I went and got blood because my hemoglobin and hematocrit were so low, and that's what was making me short of breath for the most part, other than the fact that my heart doesn't work the greatest right now. But the bigger problem is one of the medical stupids that I have, because at this point the list of what I don't have might be shorter. The list of what's not wrong may be shorter. But is that when I get croc, I'm gonna
Yes.
appear across the country and beat your children. I already threatened mine twice today.
Uh-oh.
Tell yours they don't want to see me. Oh, I was like, clean the living room where I'm cleaning with a trash bag.
Oh, jeez.
You will never see children clean a living room faster.
Ooh.
I will clean with a trash bag. Iris, I know your mother said that to you.
My parents used to say that to me too. It doesn't seem to work quite as well as I'd like over here, though.
Oh,
That's all right.
I can tell you something that'll work better.
Oh, yeah?
I have discovered something, and it's more fun.
Ooh, more fun.
Um, yeah. So, perfect. Kel, thank you so much for the sweet words the other day. It meant a lot to see you, Kelt. Thank you very much. Hey, Creed. Hey, Iris. Oh, hold on. I have Patty and Croc. Philip, my darling, thank you for the very sweet email. Uh, Danny, thank you, love. I
Freed, I want
missed
to
you
know: are we
guys
hitting
too.
Croco with the network with the wet newspaper, or are we hitting the kids? Just
Spray
saying.
bottle to the face. Train them like you do a puppy. Uh, yeah, that Iris, like I think someone that's a Hispanic thing. Damn Jexicans. Um, no. So, the better one. The better one is a mind game. Did you know the little locks that like suitcase style locks fit perfectly through the hole in plugs? Like the plug box. The brick you have to put the end of the USB thing before it goes into the wall.
Ah,
The
yes.
prongs that go into the wall, the hole in the one, the little small locks fit it through it great. So what I've done is I have taken to just putting locks through every charging block.
Ooh.
And you don't have to take away the electronics. Just watch their faces as their switch or whatever slowly dies. And they realize they can't charge it.
Well, the kids don't have a switch
Trust
right now.
me, it's better.
If I did find Mandy, it could have been a specter too. What's that?
Just saying. Even GFI plugs on TVs.
That I will remember.
Iris, the little lock, just the little lock through the thing, and you just. And I literally. Just wait. Don't say a word. Clean your shit up. No? Okay. Small people playing. Mom, where's my charger? They're all down here.
Amazon has a 12-pack for $13.99.
Yep.
Same.
Nice.
Locks through all the plugs, and you just watch. Just watch the horror on their face as their shit slowly dies. And they realize they can't charge it. So then they're sitting there going, do I play it for 10 more minutes or do I save it or there you go. The problem is even if I cut the Wi-Fi, they can play their Switch, they just don't have internet. You can play the games that have the card or you've downloaded. So you just lock it. Hey Anubis. Because then literally, instead of playing offline, no, sit there and watch. I mean, like I even unplugged the TV and power strip and put the locks through the holes. What now? Literally, the look on everybody's face. But I can't charge it.
So what?
No.
May the odds be ever in your favor. You get to decide how much battery and how you're going to make it last.
That's brilliant.
And just the look of the absolute horror. Yeah, I was telling one of my friends that, and so then she tried it. Her kids are like high school age, junior high age. And she called me. She goes, "Oh, it was amazing watching them die inside." Because it was like a slow, painful death as they watched the battery percentages drop. I was like, uh-huh. And then she told me she thought the movie Saw may be based off of my brain or something.
That was a whole series of movies. Most of them were really bad. But you know what? I see where she's coming from.
Oh, I know. I liked the first couple, and then it was just like with Nightmare on Elm Street Part 28. Hey Anubis, message me somewhere. Let me know what's going on. You know where to find me. Loves, all the hug and love. But yeah, I amused myself with that one. They were like, "Oh, I just want to know what's wrong in your head." That's where your brain went. I'm like, a lot. There's a lot wrong. And that's how I.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
So there you go. I'm echoing on one of you guys. Hey, Muffin. No, not really. So, like I was saying before, I explained that the best way to torture your children legally, the best version of child discipline. Choose your own adventure. So, like I was saying, the problem is one of my health issues is when it acts up, or I don't feel well, or I catch a cold, or too much stress, not enough sleep, weather change, the planets unalign. I don't know. My spleen just eats the cells. So, like, there's. Hey, Mean John. Mean John. I'm supposed to tell you you suck for not texting Iris. So I'm just making sure I don't forget. But yeah, my spleen will just chew up the cells, and it's hemolytic again. So I got a unit which made me slightly less of a smurf. But
how slightly?
I mean, it was at like 8, 7. Well, it was well below 8 when I left. It was like almost 7 even when I got there. It was like 8 when I left. But the problem is, even if they give me 2 or 3 units and tank me up, in 24 hours, my spleen will chew through the cells. So then, yeah, it's fun. So, before I forget, who liked Boom? I want to know, because Boom would like to return and appear
Boo
once
back.
or twice.
Bring Boo back.
You
Bring
want
Boom
Boom
back.
to come back?
I
People
want Boom
like
back.
her.
She was fun.
What?
She was fun to hang with.
She's fun, and she's probably the only person that can expose me. Because if you
Not unless we get your
tell,
5-foot tall bestie from Florida up there.
Ooh.
Oh no, you mean Brandy? She's from Southern Alabama and she lives in Delaware, Wilmington.
Oh. Why am I thinking Florida?
I went to
Boom
college. Are you thinking of my roommate from like college, maybe, or because John and I would talk about my freshman year at U Tampa? I don't know. No, Boom was not like if Opal and Loki had a kid. Boom is absolutely hysterical and just deadpan.
Yep, she can tell it straight, and you will never know.
She's just, yeah, we were talking after the stream ended. She's just like deadpan. And then nobody knows what to do. Shut up,
That's the
Miko.
best time. That's people's reactions like that were like, oh, what do I say?
Well, like she did say, she's like 6'1", so she's one of the few people that would just like whatever chair I was standing on, like get me at like put my waist at her shoulder and just grab me off the chair and walk back down the hallway going, "No, we don't do that." You might not, but I do.
I think I know where the micro Loki gets the urge to stand on chairs.
Well, it was a cafeteria table in Micro's defense. The chair wasn't enough. You know what? I was talking
Oh, I
to
love her.
I was talking to Iris about it, but I realized there was one thing we were discussing stupid shit I did. We forgot a really important one. And I'm gonna make y'all proud. I spray painted 2 greased pigs and let them loose. I put a 1 on the side of one and a 3 on the side of the other. Spray painted them and let them loose. And then when I ended up in the principal's office, where I usually ended up, and I saw the 2 of them in cages, courtesy of the animal control officer they had to call to get them, because it was like watching monkeys fornicate with greased footballs, trying to catch these 2 pigs. I went, guys. Yeah, I painted a 1 and a 3 on them. And they were like flipping out. And I kind of like raised my hand slightly. And they were like, "What?" I said, "Where's the other one? I was racing them. You found 1 and 3. Where's number 2?" You have never seen so much panic on people's faces.
You told me this one a while back.
Yeah. As they searched that school for hours.
Did everybody get to go home for that one?
No, there's only a couple things I did that everyone got to go home. Oh, no, Johnny, there was no squealing. I only had 2. They caught the 2 real quickly. Chucked a couple donuts in each little cage, and they happily went in to go get donuts, and animal control took them. We used to have like a dairy farm, like right by the high school, and I knew the kid whose parents owned it. But yeah, there was a 1 and a 3, and I'm like, "But where's number 2? I was racing them." No, Anubis, I put a 1 on one of them and a 3 on the other. And then asked them where number 2 was.
Yeah, there were 2 pigs.
Mm-hmm. They spent like 12 hours looking.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got in trouble for that one. They weren't happy with me, but I thought it was great.
I have to wonder what your dad said.
Was this before or after the incendiary device incident?
After.
Oh, good.
The incendiary
They
device.
should have learned.
The incendiary device was my junior year of high school. The pigs was my senior year.
Senior pranks. So much fun.
No, it wasn't senior pranks. I did it. I pulled shit constantly. The problem is when I get bored, if you guys haven't figured it out, my mind works in stupid ways. Like putting locks through plugs. I'm like, you know what would be more fun than taking it? No, you choose your own adventure. Let's go. I may have also refrigerated a shoebox full of crickets so they were asleep, because if you have crickets or like a pet you would feed crickets to, like a baby snake, if you keep them cold, they don't chirp or anything. They hibernate. So I I let them get cold, and then I opened the boxes in the auditorium amphitheater thing we have, which the lights never go all the way on. Hold on, guys. What's wrong, Princess? Sorry, Micro sticking her head in because her garbage can was full of used tissues. And she didn't like
Okay.
it. She went to the zoo yesterday on a field trip with school, and it kicked her allergies ass.
Ooh.
So but yeah, so I let all of the crickets external because the lights get bright enough to shut them up.
Haha.
I got yelled at for that one. Oops. Yeah, I got bored. I don't know why my mind works the way it does, but it does. And it's never good for other people. Let's see. Yeah. Watching people try to find the pig was amazing. Patty, I knew you'd be proud of that one.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was hilarious.
This is one of those stories that I'm going to tell to the greats as they get older and go, okay, here's how to get even with your school.
Hey, Victoria, you're okay being late. Hi, loves.
Hi, Victoria.
Oh, yeah. I let them go. It was great. They were like, where's the... I just want to know where pig number 3 is. Like, pig number 2, you found 1 and 3. Where's the other one? Like, literally, just cure the look of sheer horror. And they just stared at me, and I'm like, No, the only ones that I got in a lot of trouble for was I may have convinced the stoners to take liquid nails, like the caulking gun one, and put a bead around all the cafeteria doors because they had like mega study halls in the cafeteria for like first and second period. And when the class started, they would shut the doors and you weren't allowed to go in and out. So it was closed and it was, long enough that they set with the fast acting liquid nails. We got dismissed because it was a fire hazard and they couldn't serve lunch.
I think she may have done done the world a favor, or at least at high school.
No, we actually had really good food.
Oh, well, surprising actually.
But the best part was I get called down to the principal's office. I'm like, I didn't do it. And they were like, we know. I said, how did you find out who did? I don't know. And they were like, because all the stoners have white sticky handprints on their t-shirts or pant legs. Like wiping their hands off. I said, okay, so what's the problem? And they were like, my principal looked at me, deadpan, and goes, they're all too fucking stoned or stupid to come up with that on their own. I know none of them thought of that. Only one place they got that idea. Oops. My bad.
Note to
Dude, I
self.
went to a high school, and the closest fast food joint to my high school was 7 miles one way.
Yeeks.
You brought your lunch or you ate at the cafeteria.
Well,
However,
legally they
old-
have to be able to serve lunch at a public school. If they cannot serve lunch at a public school, legally they now have to close down the school for the day. It's a federal thing. But hey. So you were saying, well, Patty, you lived in the sticks. It's not my fault.
yeah, I did live in the sticks and it was great. You guys may have had bakeries and restaurants and stuff close by. We had a wildlife refuge with bunkers that we knew how to open the doors and go hang out there for the day.
Yeah, me and
We had
John,
a water tower we could paint.
you know what? I didn't paint a water tower, but and I did not put bouillon cubes in the shower heads. Me and John, the one worse than bouillon cubes is you buy the tablets, like the solid dye tablets. Hold on, micro.
Anubis, that is priceless. Creed, when you get a bunch of farm
Hold
kids,
on one second.
rural kids in the middle of a wildlife refuge, yeah, we found our own entertainment. Well, you're not wrong on the water tower art. I honestly never climbed up there. I'm scared of heights. I had friends that did though. And the school finally got it torn down because it's quote unquote dangerous.
Were they actually using that water tower, or was it abandoned?
The water tower was left over from a bygone era before the government used eminent domain to take over several small towns to be able to build a plant to purify plutonium for nuclear warheads.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, hold on.
They can't be that way.
Yeah. So they ended up tearing it down. It was part of the Howell Cemetery.
Yeah, no, me and John. No, I just bought the dye tablets, like the RIT dye tablets, and stuck them in the shower heads, so we had multicolored people for a few days. Oops. That was not even the worst. No, so here was, I think, like, what one did I really get in trouble for? It was the trash can prank.
Reed, that is so sad.
Okay, Creed.
That's just really sad.
Yeah. At least I had fun. So I did not. I will say this right now. I did nothing to the U.S. flag. What the fuck is that?
It's a clock that is going through through testing for some unknown reason. I'll shush it.
Thanks. So I spray painted it like a 03 for graduation on one metal trash can, and I don't remember what I wrote on the other one. And I put them over the top of the two 15-foot flagpoles. And then the one in the middle that had the American flag I left alone. Watching them try to figure out how the trash cans got up there in the first place, and then watching them trying to figure out how to get the trash cans down. Best day ever.
Yeah, getting the trash cans down would have been the hard part.
Yeah, they didn't until I told them how to. I did get 50 bonus points from my physics teacher for it. It was great. It was great. Like, it was the best because everyone's like, oh my God, did you use the, like, you probably brought the fire truck or a ladder. No. And it wouldn't have mattered. You can't get close enough to the flagpole with how the building and the property is, you cannot get close enough with a ladder or even a bucket truck. So there's literally no way to physically get up there with a ladder or... Oops. Oh well. It was great. Yeah, Mean John, not only were the maintenance guys confused, like, it got to the point where they started, like, getting the physics teachers. They had, like, they had everybody out there just staring at these trash cans. They're all just standing around like, how are we getting that down? They called my dad. My dad drove up to the school, looked up, laughed at me, got back in his truck, and left. And they were like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know what they thought they were going to get out of that. Yeah, after like 6 hours, nobody had figured out how I got them up there.
I suppose you're going to tell us at some point.
I can. Guess. Go for it. How are you going to do it? I did not use any knot, Mean John. No, Creed, I didn't shoot them down. I put them the fuck up there. No more fun watching them try to get them down. I did not use any knot. Come on, puzzle it out. You guys got this. I got smart beasties. I know I'm one of the dumber ones in here.
I find that unlikely. I'm trying to think through some of the methods that I might use.
If you ask certain YouTubers, I'm a moron because they're all lawyers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. Understanding, of course, is that people are idiots.
I've never heard a joke about what do you call 50 paramedics at the bottom of the ocean. Have heard it about lawyers.
I tell people all the time, I'm just a dumb paramedic. I'm just the dumb OSHA person. Mean John, somehow that's just me being a sarcastic asshole. With things like Quiplash. The trivia, I have an eidetic memory, which helps. But, no, I mean, I'm not stupid. I just think it's funny that there's a general consensus.
Those people don't know you very well, do they?
No.
I don't know if it's that they don't know me. Everybody just knows my brother. Knows how smart he is. And I'm like, you do realize, like, I make more than he does. Okay, whatever.
He's probably pissed off about that too.
My brother's pissed off because his first wife still has his nuts in a jar somewhere. I'm still in trouble for sending someone to go look for them.
Yeah.
I told you about that one.
Yeah. How old were you at that time?
15, 16. Hey, what can I say? Don't annoy me. How? Come on, Croc, you're smart.
I'm trying to figure it out. My most of the methods I have on hand would come down to a ramp of some description.
Nope. My feet never left the floor. Did not climb anything, did not throw anything. Yep. Not to mention the way I did it. Said method, everything I used fit in my pocket. And took me all of about 30 seconds. Creed, the trash cans were 15 feet up over the top of a flagpole that had like not an eagle because that was on the middle one with the US flag, like a round ball thing on top.
So this isn't a building we're talking about here.
No, over flagpoles. But because I said where the building is, you can't get in with like the bucket truck from the fire department or a ladder or the.
Haven't you seen a flagpole in the middle of the garden at a high school?
No.
But Creed, the pole. If you have a flag, okay, Patty.
Yes,
Do
dear.
you see the problem in this theory?
Mm-hmm. I'm keeping my mouth shut.
Yeah, the metal steel trash cans were completely over the top.
Yeah, they were way up high. Although the pulley system might be useful to get it up at least most of that way. It's not going to finish. That's not going to finish the job. Hey, Opal.
Hey, Opal.
Ooh,
Spicy Opal.
very spicy.
Kind of, but yeah. I don't know what it's called, Mean John. I just sat there laughing. Because you know who figured it out amazingly? The honors anatomy and physiology teacher, Mr. Vosnick, who I loved. Mr. Vosnick walked outside. No, Creed, it is not. It's a 15-foot high flagpole in concrete. I live in the Northeast. Yeah. Mr. Vosnick walked out, looked up, looked at everyone standing there, looked at me, gave me a high five, and said, I think I bet on the wrong kid out of your family, and went back to class. Yeah, it was great. Like, peace, y'all. Let me know when you figure it out. I don't. I don't really care. Yeah, it was great. They were so mad. Like, they were big mad at me over it. I think they were just, like, more mad they couldn't figure it out. Boom looked at me, looked at the flagpole, went, "You're an asshole," and walked away.
Well, she knew how you did it.
She did not.
Nope.
I did it at like 3 in the morning. I made sure that the cameras didn't see how I did it. I did it because I knew the first thing they would do is run the cameras back. So it had to be totally dark with no headlights. Come on, you guys are smart beasties. I will say Creed has been the closest, but still
you
not
had some-
right.
Okay.
Not right. I just said close.
I would need to. I'm not getting a visual here.
No, you could not throw the cans from anything. Draw a line. Draw a trash can upside down over the top. Get it down. Just like every normal flagpole, it has a pulley, what? 6, 7 inches below where the globe thingy is.
Mm-hmm.
And then like a foot up from the bottom.
How tall were the flagpoles?
15 feet.
And you put them another 15 feet up from there, or no? Wait a minute.
They're 15-foot high flagpoles.
Okay, that's
And the trash
15 feet.
can was inverted on the flagpole over the top of the bulb at the top.
Yep.
Oh.
It's kind of like if you got a trash can and you stick a broomstick in it and then you
Yes.
turn it upside
That's
down.
exactly
It
what
looked
it
like
was.
that.
I was just, I misunderstood the whole. Wait a second, because you could have picked up the broom locally.
Everything fit in my pocket. I already told you this.
There was no broom involved. Well, there could have been if she could fly on it, but I don't think that happened.
Anubis, how does that help?
Well, there was already one rope in there with the pulley system. The only question is how did you get the trash can up the additional about 1.5 to 2 feet, maybe 3 feet. We're talking about the big metal trash cans.
Yep.
Okay, that's
With shit spray painted on them.
but because of course
Was it a 1 and a 3?
No, that was only for the pigs. One did say 03 because of the year I graduated.
2003. Yeah, that'd be a thing. Okay.
My physics teacher had a PhD in physics. I made fun of him for not being able to figure it out. Guys, it's really easy.
Come
Y'all
on,
are
guys,
making
think about this.
way hard.
You have a trash can.
Are we all giving up collectively?
I think they are. I think they are. I know how I would do it.
How would you do it?
I would actually rubber band or use a string and tie it through the two handles of the trash can, attach it through the pulley loops, and then use that when you got it up to the top, use it to gently maneuver the trash can up and over the top, and then drop it down and pull the string.
You're by far the closest.
It may take me longer than 30 seconds, but that's how I would do it.
No, I just took a 12-inch ruler and taped the very bottom inch to the rope. Flipped the trash can upside down, only put it over the ruler, ran it all the way up. It's gonna catch it, the tape will catch at the fulcrum of the pulley. But by that point, it's well over the top of the trash can because you have the 11 inches of yardstick, of ruler.
Yeah.
Pull it over the left, lower the rope back down, rip it and the piece of tape off, and walk over. Literally a piece of tape and a ruler.
I was thinking you're going to need something a little longer than that, but yeah.
Nope. Piece of tape and a ruler.
Actually, no.
What?
She only needed 7 inches of clearance.
What? Hold on.
Brilliant. Good work. Please tell me you can't hear Blanche barking in the background. Creed, yeah, that's exactly what I would do. And then I was going to use any wind we had hanging out to help, adjust the direction of the trash can to get it in the right spot to pull it over. Because you don't live in the United States, Creed.
A whiny child. You don't have to flip it. You literally just put it upside down over the roller. I literally just set a trash can over a ruler. I used a single piece of tape and a ruler. Literally took me like 30 seconds. When I told them, they all just stared at me.
Thank you, Opal.
I don't know.
I guess they didn't understand the tension dynamics of how that would actually work.
Oh, they just were like, I wouldn't have thought it. You don't even need to thread the rope. You literally just use a piece of tape and a 12-inch ruler. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were like, I was like, and y'all are teachers. I'm supposed to be learning shit from you. Not explaining, like, why do I have to explain to the teachers about logic?
Well, because that probably wasn't part of their education course they took to get their teaching certificates.
I had a PhD physics teacher whose PhD was in physics.
What?
Yeah. That's a thing.
Mm-hmm. He was like 50 points. You have your A for the year. In AP physics, you bested me. Y'all
Congrats, man.
need to. I was just like, I don't know what to tell you guys. Not my fault you're dumb. Don't say that to the principal. Just FYI, you get yelled at for it.
Well, your principal sounds like he was halfway competent. Yeah, that's it.
No, he wasn't. Unfortunately, so I've told you guys there was a very large age difference between me and my siblings. So unfortunately for everybody, my siblings graduated high school. I was 6 months old when my brother graduated. And 2.5 when my sister graduated. So about 2/3 of my teachers went to school with my siblings and graduated with them. So they knew them. The principal, when I graduated, was a kid my sister beat up in high school.
That didn't end well.
It ended worse now because he's the district superintendent.
Oh.
And I bullied the... Yeah, I was real mean to the vice principal because he annoyed me. And I didn't like him. And he lasted precisely a year before he went to go be the principal at the elementary school. Because he couldn't handle getting yelled at by high schoolers. So, yeah. No, Mr. Short and I did not get along. My principal, who's now the district superintendent.
I'm crazy.
And I make fun of him all the time.
Oh, I'm crazy.
Like, the handful of times I've had to interact with him, I think all you ever heard me say was, "Shut the fuck up, Short." Or I used his nickname from high school that he didn't like.
Uh-oh.
And he couldn't legitimately figure out how I knew it for like years.
Gotta love
How long
it.
did it take him to realize?
About a year. So his nickname was Homer. As in, like, think of the baseball analogy and getting laid. And they used it ironically.
Homer Simpson from the back.
They used it ironically. Because he never got laid.
Yikes.
And in the yearbook, like, you know how your nickname can go in quotes between your name? Kind of thing.
They put it in.
Yeah, it said William, Homer Short or something. So, yeah. I literally just sat there and made fun of him. And then he told me at graduation he had never been so happy for the last person to graduate until he realized that I was here and had a small child.
Oh, dear.
Guys.
Yeah, but the problem with that is, the way he found out was the principal at one of these schools decided to FAFO.
Never ever FAFO.
I got called to deal with Minnie's kindergarten teacher. And the school called 911 for the and I quote, the unhinged parent with a firearm illegally parked in the fire lane.
Oh, yeah, you told me about that one.
Yeah.
I have questions.
Yeah, the county 911 dispatcher went, so you would like me to tell the tactical officer who's in uniform and who has their Tahoe with emergency lights parked in the fire lane that they can't have their weapon or park an emergency vehicle in a fire lane? What would you like me to do about this? I mean, because I'm going to have to dispatch her to her own call.
She's the one closest.
Do you want her to arrest her? Like, I'm going to need you to tell me what you want here.
Yeah.
The principal pulled that. Superintendent showed up, took one look at me, threw his hands in the air, got back in his car, and went back up to the administration building. Bye.
I almost feel bad for the guy.
I don't.
Almost. Yeah, I said almost.
Yeah, if he wants sympathy from me, he needs a dictionary.
No. There's a question on screen.
Oh. Freak around and find out? Fuck around and find out.
Yep. I literally was like, you called 911 on a police officer in uniform with an emergency vehicle. And okay. You are the dumbest people I've ever met. My kids are going to private school now. Because...
Well, until there was a different case of FAFO.
Oh, that FAFO is about to be a problem. That FAFO, so my current gay, Asian, Jewish lawyer that is handling it, they called him racist and homophobic. And something else because he must not support trans rights and trans kids. And how could he support somebody how could he take a client whose child intentionally doesn't respect pronouns and blah, 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 blah.
They do realize they're talking about a kid that is like...
She's 6.
Smarter than most of them.
She turned 6 4 days ago. No, literally my answer was, you are telling a gay, Asian, Jewish lawyer. He's what? What other minority boxes do y'all need checked? No, okay.
And the response was the extra white kilt box.
I don't. His husband was Canadian and is now a U.S. citizen, and their adopted son is half black and half Mexican. So, I don't know what to tell you guys. Yeah, you're right. He is totally homophobic and racist. You are the dumbest fucking people I've ever met.
Yeah, internalized misogyny was a thing. Why not homophobia? A phobia is a fear, is an irrational fear of something. Ugh.
You know what the funny thing is? When he was in law school, at one point he was dating a black Muslim guy for a very short period of time. And my dad was like, please stop collecting minority stamps like they are buy five, get one free sub cards.
Good old dad. Dads just know how to say it in such a way that everybody knows what the deal is.
Yeah. But he is very like no fucks when you deal with him, because what people don't like, he's the nicest guy, but he's in front of federal immigration judges. He doesn't litigate, and federal immigration judges do not want to hear it. So if you start talking and don't give them like the answer in 5 minutes, they're literally going to just rule against you and walk away, kind of thing. Because there's of so many cases. So every time like the school would the principal or someone would start talking in the one meeting the other day, they would be like, we pride ourselves on, he was like, with all due respect, I don't care. Did you or did you not? This is a yes or no question. Well, what you said, I didn't ask. Yes or no. Well, it was known, I didn't ask. Yes or no. Like, he would have been savage in some of these trials, like Letitia Stout. Because he just doesn't care. And part of it is A, immigration judges, but B, he does not do much pro bono work. He is fluent in Mandarin and Spanish and English. The majority of his clients are like professionals that had visas that moved to the US.
Well, that'd be a thing.
You know what I mean? And are trying to, he practices in the DC, Virginia metropolitan kind of area. So there's lots of, the only pro bono stuff he takes is he does a lot of advocacy stuff for the LGBTQ community, for people that come to the US claiming asylum, because if they're deported, they'll be murdered by their government. So, like, he does do pro bono for, the occasional, like, Iranian or, person from an Arab country. Like, if you send me back, I'm gay, they're going to kill me. Those are the only, like, you know what I mean? No, not business visas, Creed. Like people that are here for grad school or medical school or college, who then get a job and want to be permanent US citizens. So, he doesn't really whatever. But I kind of had a choice litigation-wise where I could get someone like Natalie Wisco to pro hoc vice in with him and argue and litigate, or I can I could have gotten, a litigator. And one of my well, not a friend, guy knows one of the top work comp, civil tort, product liability kind of, attorneys in the state. So he is handling the litigation aspect. And the school is shitting bricks and tiger walls. They could build a border wall with the amount of bricks I think they shit today. Having to deal with him. I love my other lawyer. AJ's like, hey, so what we're not doing is any of this. Y'all are stupid. And hung up. Okay, go AJ. They're quickly regretting it. Yeah, Anubis, the pronoun thing. Anubis, were you not here for the pronoun discussion? Anubis, pro bono is always better than an amateur one. Pro bono just means he's doing it for free, not pro se. People aren't representing himself. He just takes those cases free. Oh, you weren't here for it. Okay, so Anubis, Micro Loki is just turned 6. She's 5. She got yelled at school repeatedly because there's a second grader who uses they them pronouns. And you're lucky she doesn't speak solely in the third person like most kindergartners. So she got yelled at. She does not understand the concept of they them. That it can be used when referring to a singular pronoun person because, oh yeah, she hasn't learned that yet. She's learning to read. Kind of thing. And, all that stuff. So, I'm not saying she can't use pronouns. I'm just saying she didn't understand. Like, they tried to make it out like she was doing it to be hateful. Patty, can you explain it better?
There's a second grader that seems to choose to be a they them. Izzy doesn't understand that there is, or Micro Loki doesn't understand. Micro does not understand the difference between a boy, a girl, and a they. She only knows boy or girl. This person has chosen to be gender neutral, and that's fine. That is their choice. But she got in trouble because, she told him fucker's gender neutral and called him fucker.
Well, now she got in trouble for calling them she. And the school was like, they use they them pronouns. And she was like, okay, I'll call her that.
Because she only recognizes boys and girls at this age.
She just doesn't understand it. And that's fine. So her response was fine. And I call everybody fucker because I can call a girl fucker or a boy fucker.
Yep.
Everybody's pronoun is now fucker.
Which is why we all want little patches that say fucker is gender neutral.
Yeah, she decided it was her gender neutral program.
I'm keeping my mouth up.
I was like, okay.
And of course, the school doesn't like that either.
No. I thought it was hysterical.
I wet my pants. I laughed.
I was like, I don't know what to tell you. She just stopped talking in the third person recently because she's little. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't care. You know, we have all kinds in our family. Nobody cares. She's not doing it to be malicious. She's a little kid. So everybody's name is now Fucker. It's going great. I mean, Opal, you were there when she asked if your video game character needed a sports bra. And why were they wearing a skirt?
That would be Ash from A Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins.
In her defense, the guy does need a sports bra.
Yes, that has to be a shirt. I agree, me, John.
Yeah. Everybody's name is Fucker in this house.
Sadly, Anubis, there's too many people that are insisting that children have the right to choose a pronoun.
I really don't care, but don't make it out to be that my 5-year-old is being malicious. She's
not being malicious.
She's 5. She just doesn't understand. You know? Not really a thing. But yeah, I died of laughter. Like, I was like, what do you want me to do about it? She's not wrong. What gender is Fucker?
That's an inappropriate word. Nobody cares.
She also stood on a cafeteria table to fight a 5th grader, so whatever. But the best part was Boom was with me.
Do not mess with the micro.
Boom was with me when I had to go get her. And Boom was like, oh, look, that apple didn't fall far from the tree. Boom was like, I see where this ended up.
Of course it did.
Creed, it was the school. The kid complained to the principal and the guidance counselor
because
that
misgendered.
Micro was intentionally misgendering her. And doing it maliciously.
And they believe this. Why?
I don't know, but I laughed because the look on Micro's face as she looked at me and went, fine, I called them all Fucker from now on. If you're a boy, I could say, hey, Fucker, come here. And it doesn't matter if I'm talking to a boy or a girl. So
and she's not wrong.
And that's when the principal realized Izzy was not wrong. Oops, sorry. My bad.
And that's when they realized, don't mess with the 5-year-old.
The 5-year-old is smarter than you, yes.
No, the 5-year-old is vicious.
And if you And if you wrongly accuse the 5-year-old of shit, then Loki's coming after you.
Unfortunately, I'm having to the attorneys handling the legal issue with the school. We're being a little bit of an issue keeping it out of the news.
Uh-oh.
I don't want it to become a news story. Like with all the stuff going on. But yeah. But anybody knows me knows, like, okay. I don't give a fuck. Y'all do what you want. Just don't fuck with my little people. Don't mess with my family. Don't mess with my friends. Don't mess with people my children love. Because I'm not a nice person.
Yes, you are, just not to idiots.
By the way, speaking of stupid, we're going to cover some actual stupid.
Ooh.
Other than just talking, we're going to cover like 2 little things, and then I'm going to go to bed. As a TikTok psychic and shooter update, we're going to do that later. I had just copied and pasted my stream title from the other day. I just don't have enough breath and energy to cover those this exact second.
Speaking of, did we ever figure out whether that trial you wanted to do was going to broadcast jury selection?
I will look at that in a second, but hold on. You ready? Ready?
Go for it.
There you go. I'm waiting for the giggles. Has everyone read the...
Jeez.
Best is this is one of the police departments I work with. A Pennsylvania police officer was arrested this week in connection with transporting an illegal immigrant, according to federal documents. The Bethel Park Police Department said it was notified Thursday that Lieutenant Blake Babin was taken into custody by the FBI. Y'all, do you have nothing better to do with your time? The Bethel Police Department cannot make any comment due to being a personnel matter, the department said. Babin's charged with the transportation of an illegal alien, the court complaint says. Federal prosecutors allege he knew someone identified in court documents as AMTH entered and remained in the United States illegally from October 2022 through December 3rd of that year. Now, look at this very nice police car, okay? Keep this
That is
in
a
mind.
very nice police car.
Just think about this for a minute. Here's the best. He allegedly transported and attempted to transport and move AMTH despite knowing he was in the country illegally. They have not disclosed the relationship. He's facing 5 years and $250 in fines, right? But there's more to this story. Because of course, right? Why? Why would this be such an issue? Why would he even know? Right? 33-year veteran of the force. The indictment said he knew recklessly or disregarded the law. Here's the best part. Where did it go? Where is it? They've taken down a bunch of the stories over it.
Please tell me this guy was transporting said illegal immigrant to the police station.
Hey, Nancy.
Hi, Nancy.
So the reason he did it is because the guy was drunk and asked him for a ride home so he didn't drive drunk because he couldn't get an Uber to come get him.
Wow, that's an effective use of the media's time.
Well, he was a friend of he knew the police officer. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Bethel Park, the average house is like $500,000. It is a very wealthy area. And he's been a veteran for 33 years of the force. Anubis, he's not he wasn't under arrest. This guy who the officer was working that night, said, "Hey, I'm too drunk to drive. My DD isn't picking up. Can you drive me home so I don't drive drunk?" And he went, "Sure, I'll give you a courtesy ride home." And then the FBI showed up a couple of days later and arrested him at home for transportation of illegal immigrant.
That's not what that is not what that's for.
What?
The rules about the law about transporting illegal immigrants.
Iris, the 33-year veteran of the force, who's a traffic lieutenant, who, when approached by someone they had known for a long time, said, "Hey, I'm too intoxicated to drive. Can you drive me home?" Gave him a courtesy ride.
Can I say something here real quick?
Sure.
Around here, cops, if you walk up to a cop drunk and say, "Can I get a ride home?" and say what this guy said, they actually have to. You get fired if they don't. They get fired if they don't.
Iris, he knew the officer. Like I was saying, the average house in Bethel Park is about $500,000.
This is.
Hold on one second. You want to shut my door?
This is ridiculous.
He was preventing a crime, in fact. The FBI just wanted somebody to bust.
He's been there for 33 years. And the FBI's argument is you knew the guy was an illegal immigrant and you transported him in a police vehicle. Yes, he did. Would you prefer him let someone drive drunk?
Which
No,
would not be okay ethically.
Yeah, I mean, he asked, and some Karen got butthurt about it. Oh, Iris, some Karen. Iris, a Karen. Literally. A Karen called the 1-800 number. Mm-hmm. A Karen called and said, "Oh my God, that..." And you can tell, by looking at how nice the police car is. Right? You can see they're very expensive cars. It's a very expensive area. Oh, what? Not that bad. 73. Nancy, he had a driver's license. So, no, Philip, I know the officer. I've worked with him for a long time. The gentleman involved overstayed their visa. So they had a license. And Pennsylvania, under our lovely Democratic idiot Festerman, Uncle Fester, like many other states, you don't have to be a legal citizen to get a driver's license. That's why you need multiple forms of ID when getting a passport. Driver's license doesn't mean, you're a legal resident. The guy was an overstay on a visa and lived in a very expensive area, and no, it wasn't yet Nancy. He wasn't an illegal immigrant. He was a visa overstay who had been here for a long time and, overstayed his visa, which happens a lot. And, the Pittsburgh area has a ton of universities. Yeah, his visa expired. He was an overstay, Nancy. It's my understanding that the officer may have or may not have known. I think the officer knew he was a visa overstay. But they're saying he knew the guy was a visa overstay. So he helped him. The only reason he helped him was because the guy walked up to him and was like, "Hey, I'm drunk and can't drive. Can you drive me home?" So the police officer said, "Sure. I don't want you to drive drunk," and drove him home. And yeah, he broke the law, but Nancy, you really think driving... Okay, hold on here. Yes, even that his visa's expired. Croc, I really don't know. It doesn't matter. Like the situation with the person doesn't matter. He was never in custody. He just said, "Hey, officer, I'm too drunk to Hey, Sod, I am
Hi, Sod.
too drunk to drive. Can you drop me off at home so I don't drive drunk?" And the officer weighed the issue here and went, "If I don't drive him home, the person's going to drive drunk. Or I can drop him off at home." You know, yeah, see, you wouldn't go to jail, Nancy, if there was no reason for the officer to run his name. No reason. It's very common here. Nancy, the thing is, like, if I'm drunk, I'm gonna be like, hey, I can't drive. Can someone drive me home? I don't want to drive drunk. And it's very common. How is? No, he walked up to the officer. He didn't have keys in his hands. Nancy, there are no cabs in that area. There was no Uber. There was no. He tried, and his designated driver was not answering. It is very common here for people to ask the police for a courtesy ride. If they're not busy, they'll do it. I mean, then we're going to have to disagree on that, Nancy, because I can tell you what my problem is. My problem is if someone takes a position like you, okay, and says, well, it should have been a DUI. The police officer shouldn't have driven him home. It's his problem. Figure it out. If he drives drunk and hits and kills you or your family, you're going to be real upset. But there was no reason for a DUI. He didn't want to drive drunk. He walked outside of the restaurant, saw the police officer, and said, hey, can you give me a courtesy ride home so I don't drive drunk?
A
That
perfectly
had
reasonable thing in my brain.
nothing. He didn't drive. They're in your pocket. You have to get in the car to.
And the keys have to be in the ignition.
In most states.
In most
Pennsylvania,
states, yeah.
keys have to be in the ignition and you have to be in the car. Yeah, a lot of the cops hang around and will give courtesy rides. There was no issue with the courtesy ride. No, they don't. Nancy, it's state dependent. Pennsylvania, keys in hand in the driver's seat or a front seat where you can access it. Don't have to be in the ignition. Keys in the hand, you in the driver's seat. Keys in your back pocket, and you walk up to the police officer who is parked in the parking lot and say, hey, I can't get a cab. I can't get anything. Can someone drive me home? And some Karen in the neighborhood called the FBI and said the police transported an illegal immigrant.
Question. How do they know that the person is an illegal immigrant just by him getting in the vehicle? Because that's not something typically an illegal immigrant that's living in a wealthy neighborhood will tell anybody.
HOA Karen. I don't know. Somebody literally called the FBI tip line to complain about it. And the 33 veteran veteran of the, 33 years of service, veteran police officer, rather than let the guy drive himself or walk, because it's not a walkable area, drove him home. Never even ran his name, because there was no reason to. He wasn't in custody. It was a courtesy ride. And the FBI showed up at his front door and
Yeah.
arrested the officer today.
This just tells you how much time the FBI has on their hands.
There's no servants. This police officer doesn't work there. I'm not saying it's a super wealthy area. I'm just saying it's a very white collar, very nice area. It's not an area where you would like run everybody's name. You know who the troublemakers are, kind of thing. You know, he drove him home. Dropped him off so he didn't drive drunk. Got arrested. Like, and it has nothing to do with illegal immigration or immigrants or whatever. I mean, my mom's a refugee. I've said it multiple times. My mom came over as a 4-year-old from Czechoslovakia with my grandmother and grandfather who just survived the Holocaust. Yeah, Iris, he's gonna have to fight for his pension. The FBI fucking arrested him. He's facing up to 5 years in jail and $250,000 in fines.
Let's hope he's
All
even
because-
got that kind of money.
The FOP union lawyers will get involved. Odie was real pissed, let me tell you, Patty.
That's just such.
Odie knew him well.
I worked for a company down in Florida, and we had many engineers, highly intelligent people, and they were in the United States on a work visa. I don't know if I worked with them every day. It would never cross my mind to ask somebody that is employed, working a position in a nice neighborhood, who I know is here and is from another country, if they're here illegally or not. It's just not something that even crosses your mind, that their visa hasn't been updated correctly.
And that's the thing, you know, in an area like Pittsburgh, we have Google. We're one of the big Google offices. We have Carnegie Mellon University, University of Pittsburgh, you know, the huge health networks, like all of that stuff. They don't, you know what I mean? If you're like, hey, can you drive me home courtesy ride because I don't want to have a DUI?
Yeah, because that would have been that would have been a crime for which there might have been victims.
Yeah, and like I
I'm with you.
understand.
Yeah, really.
Like Nancy, like I get that you're not a fan of illegal immigrants. I'm not either. My mom did it the right way. The entire reason my grandmother was in the concentration camp was because they didn't get their exit visa paperwork done in time before the Nazis deported them. No, Nancy, guy wasn't rich. Police officer isn't rich. It's just a nice neighborhood. But that's why I said it's a more expensive neighborhood that is nice. So the reason I pointed that out was not to be like, oh, rich people don't do that. It's that it wasn't an area of town where you would run everybody's name. You know, if it's a gang infested area, or a high
you would.
crime area, you're going to run everybody. You know, this is a nice white collar. You know, it's just a nice area. You would not run him for wants and warrants kind of thing. Okay, but Nancy, the illegal immigrant is not the problem. The police officer who gave the illegal immigrant a car ride, courtesy ride, because he didn't want the illegal immigrant to drive intoxicated and possibly kill somebody. The police officer was arrested,
Not the immigrant.
not the illegal immigrant. Like there's no reason to run his name. And the illegal immigrant, like it has nothing to do with him breaking the law and justice if you can pay it. It had to do with he thought he was doing the right thing by not driving drunk and saying, "Hey, I need a ride home." The police officer was arrested by the FBI. The police officer was arrested on federal charges. Which is insane. The police officer didn't break the law.
No, the police officers are preventing somebody else from breaking the law.
He had no reason to run the man's name.
No, we didn't. Not in that kind of an area. It's not like this is gangland or something.
Should I take it with vinegar?
You want to eat sometime tonight?
Well, I mean, we're gonna have to agree to disagree because Nancy, he had no reason to run his name. He should have turned him in on an expired visa. Cop has no duty to ask about status and no reason to run him. Okay. We're going to agree to disagree here because I would rather my police officer drive someone home than you die because someone drove drunk and hit the car that you and your family are traveling in and kill you.
That's where I'm at.
Nancy, he had a valid driver's license. He has a valid driver's license. The traffic officer was just trying to make sure he didn't drive drunk and kill somebody.
And even then, there's no strictly speaking, there's no requirement for him to hand his ID over unless he's being detained.
Nancy, they're not going to hold you. You don't have to be a U.S. resident to have a driver's license. Have you? There was an entire thing about this during the last election. about IDs and rights to. He has a driver's license.
Hey, Nancy, can I ask you a question? This is Patty. Do you have any friends that are not from this country? If they picked up the phone and called you, said, "Hey, I'm drunk, give me a ride," and 2 days later, the FBI showed up on your doorstep and arrested you for transporting somebody who was here illegally, would you ask your friend if their visa was valid? Exactly. And that's all this police officer did. He gave somebody he knew in the neighborhood a ride home. Yeah, I already see where you retracted it. It's already there. You'd give him a ride. So, you know, it's a moral question. I had a friend who was here in the United States, he thought legally for years. Only he found out that he wasn't here legally, and he immediately took steps to get that straightened out. Stuff happens in life, but I'm sorry, if somebody walks up to me that I know, I'm not going to ask them their immigration status. Even if it's a random person in the neighborhood that I've just seen around and they say, "I'm drunk, I need a ride," I'm going to risk a Karen. No, you're not being bashed at all. We're just trying to display it from our point of view, you know? And you freely admitted you'd give them a ride too. So it is what it is. We're not bashing you. I'm just trying to get you to see it from our side as well. Well, you
I
don't
would
have to
agree.
agree, but you do agree if it was somebody you knew, you weren't going to ask them their immigration status before you gave them the ride. Well, that's what this police officer
That's fine.
did.
And like I said, we don't have to agree. We can agree to
We
disagree
don't
on
have
it.
to agree.
And
You know,
discussion's over.
you know, it makes
I'm
me
just,
sick the number of illegal aliens that are here in the United States that are here illegally and commit crimes,
and I think I
and they're
pointed that
pouring
out.
over the border.
My
I
my
mean,
grand
I get,
my grandmother
I get
went to a concentration camp over illegally and over her refusal to illegally enter the U.S. My grandmother made a decision to follow immigration law and ended up in a concentration camp. So I get it. I'm not a fan of people here illegally. Nobody's bashing anybody. I'm just saying. To me, I have different hierarchies of things. And everybody has a right to feel the way they do. It's okay. Nobody's bashing anybody. It's all good. Where's the other funny thing? I had something very funny. Hold on, let me find the funny thing.
Yes, more funny.
Oh, I have one funny thing, and then I'm gonna go to bed. Let me find it. Where did it go? Don't think it's on here. It's legit creep. There's the one article. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me find this one article real quick. What's this? No, that wasn't the funny one. That's another serious one. Was it? What website was it even on? I'm so like not with it today.
Yeah, it's okay.
Because-
Happens to everybody occasionally.
No, it's just sick. It is sick mixed with my children being sick.
Oh,
you heard-
that's even worse.
As you heard my, hey Ardo, I missed you, Ardo. I
Yeah,
thought you didn't
micro-
love me anymore, Ardo.
Amanda, hi.
Where is it? Where is it? Hold on. Let me find the one thing. I was dying. I saw this one article. I'm trying to find it real quick. And I was
Hey,
like,
Ardo.
what? Ardo.
Good night, Nancy.
Good night, honey.
Sending you prayers and hugs. Hey, Amanda.
Amanda, I need your help with something stupid later. But I'll get you later for that one.
Loki, I've got a long day planned.
Yeah, give me one
For tomorrow,
second, then just give me like 2 seconds because this was going to make you laugh.
Okay.
Could use a laugh about now.
If I can
I
find
always
it,
need a
I can't
laugh.
find it in 2 seconds. Where is it?
Hey, Sod.
Hey,
Do I need to, I
Sod.
need to give you a call tomorrow and check on you, honey. Okay?
Yes, you do.
I'm
I
gonna
can't find
put
it.
it in my calendar for tomorrow. Since
So,
my work computer's still up.
yeah. I'll have to find it later. There is this dude who was just arrested on an arson warrant for lighting his own house on fire.
Intentionally?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's arson. So yeah, if it's arson, yeah, that would be intentionally
But-
setting his house on fire.
It's okay, but here's the best part. So I guess people in the neighborhood saw him like under his truck. He had drilled a hole in his gas tank. And, the entire building was on fire. He lived on the top floor, set the building up. Like, they watched him go in multiple times with gas cans. And then they saw, like, the flash. And he's in the hospital with burns to his arms and legs because, fireball. And after he lit the apartment on fire, he knocked on the downstairs tenant's door, said, "House is on fire." They left. No one was hurt other than him. When the police show up, he was sitting there watching the house burn at a picnic table, blaring, "We didn't start the fire."
Oh, bless him.
I guess the fire department showed up and were like, "What? What are we doing?"
We didn't start.
Sir?
Wow. Yeah, I'd have questions for him.
Hold on.
Probably the first one was did you bring the marshmallows and the graham crackers and the
Wait.
chocolate and the hot dog fixins? Cause Burning down the house. Gotta love that one. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good, not only is that a good tune, but yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah,
That would
that's
be-
funny.
Here we go.
Hi, Jerry. How's the Jerry? How you doing? Did you get your MRI scheduled? Come on.
Please tell me.
I need all the info. I hope you've been getting the positive vibes I've been sending your way. Oh, yeah, exactly, Ardo. Just, yeah,
Hold on.
although I'm really excited. I got a little fire pit the other day. So I can actually put a little fire in my backyard and make my own little s'mores back there if I want. Not that I need to eat sugar. Charged with arson. Where did this happen?
Minnesota landlord. There you go.
Carlson.
Minnesota landlord was blaring Billy Joel's "We Didn't Start the Fire" at the scene while fire was accused of arson. Travis Carlson was charged Tuesday with the ironic crime at a residence in Duluth. First responders arrived at 4 a.m. When they got there, he was playing the 1989 Billy Joel hit blasting from speakers. This fine, upstanding gentleman. They heard him smashing and breaking things. Someone called 911. Yeah, they found a hole in his gas
I
tank,
pictured Billy Joel.
and they found, a drill and gas can.
Local prosecutors.
Wait, hold on.
Scroll back down.
Mhm.
I love it. Local prosecutors said in court filings there may be some mental health or drug-related concerns regarding the defense. No, really?
I like
Yeah,
the next
thanks.
line. I like the next line better.
Billy Joel's rep said, we're not talking about it.
If you're Billy Joel's rep, like, what are you? You're like,
Yeah, we
wait,
want to
what?
know you what?
Arno.
We want no part. Whatever it is this guy is smoking, we want no part of it. Please tell me where he got it, so we know how to avoid it.
Or better yet, maybe we can put it in places where people will get it. Yeah,
Well,
he
we
did
are talking
abandon-
about Billy Joel here. Yeah, that could be a thing.
Willie Nelson would know where to get it.
That's just it. Willie Nelson knows where to get all the good shit.
He hasn't been doing that for a couple of years now. His current wife got him off the stuff.
Ooh. Somebody just don't tell Thomas. He'll be heartbroken.
I was dying.
No, I'll just tell him that he needs to go hang out at a Jimmy Buffett concert. He'll be fine. Jerry, you're good. Jerry, you are so good.
But yeah, this is my favorite.
No comment by Billy Joel. Yeah, exactly.
Billy
Oh,
Joel's.
Loki,
Billy-
that's awesome. That was a good one.
Billy Joel's rep was like,
What the fuck? There's
sir, sir.
We need to have a conversation here.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna put up the actual psychic stream and the shooter update for tomorrow. We will all see each other later. Love you all. I'll talk to you later. Like,
Talk to you later.
subscribe. We're getting close to only like 105 people away. Like, subscribe, do the YouTubey things. Love you all.